Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? I'm headed to work and today we're doing interviews for a supervisor position. I'm conducting the interviews for a supervisor position and I just thought it would be apropos for me to give some interview tips. And I have gotten asked this question a couple of times over the last few months. D, can you give me some interview tips? And I've shared those. I don't remember which platform it was. It could have been on Instagram or Facebook. I don't remember which platform. Might have been YouTube. But I wrote out the interview tips. I didn't do a video on it. So I'm just going to give you a few tips. I do know that a lot of my viewers are my age, are older. And you might be, honey, I don't need no interview tips because I'm done. I'm either in the career I'm going to be in or I'm about to retire or I have already retired. So this may not be for you, but you can just watch for entertainment purposes or you can watch and pass along the information, share it. Interview tips for basically any type of job that you're going for. First of all, and some of these seem so obvious, but believe me, I've interviewed enough people to know that it is not obvious, and we don't all have the same sense or common sense. But show up a little early. You don't have to be 30 minutes early. You don't have to be an hour early, but show up at least 10 minutes. That's just my personal belief. At least 10 minutes early. Being 1 minute, 2 minutes, and if the interviewer find out you walked in a minute before your interview, 2 minutes, that's already cause for pause. So at least be 10 minutes early. Be prepared with whatever you need for the interview. Don't have to run back out to your car. Don't have to run back home. Also, prepare, even though I said be 10 minutes early, but prepare to leave home early enough for traffic, unexpected traffic, all those type of things. We know that every single thing cannot be avoided. However, you live 30 minutes away. Don't leave home 35 minutes earlier. You got to make some contingencies for traffic. When you get to the location that you are having your interview, I said this in my response to someone. You want to be kind, considerate, and professional from the parking lot to the interview chair. What I mean by that is we so often, I say we, but I mean people in general who interview, so often overlook the people in the parking lot, the receptionist at the desk, the security guard, all those other people that you're going to encounter before you actually sit yourself in the interview chair. And you don't know who is who at a company. Don't just assume. Don't just assume that the little young black boy ain't got nothing to do with your job. Don't just assume that the little Hispanic, short Hispanic security guard ain't got nothing to do with your job. Don't just assume that the overweight receptionist ain't got nothing to do with your job. Don't just assume that the old lady who's got the cafeteria cap on ain't got nothing to do with your job. Be respectful, kind, and courteous to every person you meet, from pulling into that parking lot until you sit into that chair. Because I tell you, you don't know who knows who. You don't know who is who. Even when we should treat all people with respect and kindness and courtesy, no matter what they do and who they are, from the CEO to the parking lot attendant. But you don't know what position these people hold. And even if they don't hold a certain position, you don't know what influence they hold. Because influence is a whole lot different from position. Influence is a whole lot different from leadership. So you don't know what influence. I know that there have been many times where a security guard or we would send maybe one of our dispatchers down to go get that person, and they would come and let us know, oh, she's here, but she just walked in, or she's here, but she ain't got no personality, or he's here for his interview, but he's a little rude, because people will show up for an interview thinking that you're nobody. So I'm not gonna just say beat that dead horse, but you don't know who's who. You don't know who holds influence. You should be kind, courteous, professional, basically to everybody, but especially when you're showing up for an interview. Another thing is, in your interview, you want to speak up, project confidence in your interview. That's for many different, basically any type of job. But especially if you're doing any type of job that has to do with communication, whether that's customer service, whether it's law enforcement, any type of service type job, or any type of where you need phone etiquette, you want to, let me go sidebar when I talk about phone etiquette. I started with leaving your house in time, your home in time for the interview. But it really starts way before that. But I just don't have time to get into all that. But I'm just going to mention, it starts with, number one, filling out that application fully, legibly, or if you're typing it, filling out everything and all the way. Then, this is really the sidebar. When you are contacted either by email or phone, especially if you're contacted by phone, and if your job entails you being on the phone or providing customer service, you need to project that in the phone call, even before they offer you an interview. There have been times that I saw applications, I've called the people to see if they're still interested in the job, if they're interested in an interview, and their phone etiquette was so horrible that I already had prejudged them before the interview and said, nah, that ain't gonna work. Because I've called someone and says, yes, this is Dee from, Lake Mary Police Department. May I speak with Heather? Yeah, this Heather. When she said yeah, I said, oh, she ain't for this job. Not for customer service, not for 911. I do understand that, hey, that's just how some people speak. And that's fine. I'm not judging how you speak, but you're not for this job. So watch your correspondences and your communication, whether it's email communication or verbal communication. Watch how you correspond and communicate with those people who are in the process of hiring you. So let's go back. You're in the interview room. You've said your pleasantries. Speak with confidence. Project your voice. And then when the questions are asked or posed to you, answer the question directly. Oh my God, we interviewed this girl who, she had the most beautiful personality. The most beautiful personality that I had come across in an interview of someone. When I tell you, it was 3 of us, and when she left that room, we were exhausted because she talked and talked and talked and expounded and elaborated on every answer. And when she walked out, we were like, beautiful person, aesthetically and personality, caring, you could tell. But we were like, we're exhausted. There's no way we could work with that. We're exhausted after 45 minutes of listening to her. So answer the question directly, succinctly, concisely, and cut it off somewhere. Don't go on and on and on. And another tip is, have you a few questions. Most of the time people ask, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for us? Have a couple of questions prepared. That's important to the interviewer. You should know something about the business or the company. I'm not saying you have to do thorough research, but you should know what you're applying for, somewhat what they do, even if you don't know all the way, but somewhat what they do. I'm sure I answer the phone. I answer the phone to provide customer service for your company, something, but know something about, what they do. Don't ask questions that are just obvious, that were in the information that you read online. If you have easy access to the information, they provided it already, don't ask those same questions just to come up with a question. Ask something different, ask something out of the box, ask something innovative, ask something forward thinking, but don't get too cerebral. Because I've also had people who got so deep and cerebral with the questions that I said, nah, I can't work with you. I can't be all cerebral all day. I can't have you impeding my job and my work being cerebral all the time and deep all the time. And y'all know my personality. So, but have some questions, but don't have to be all deep and cerebral, but also not as shallow as that was on the internet posting. And also then thank them for the opportunity to interview. When you are answering your questions as much as possible, I know some people have real problem with strong eye contact, but as much as possible, give eye contact. If you're interviewing with more than one person, spread the eye contact. Don't just stare at one person. Spread the love, spread the eye contact among those who are interviewing you. And try to be yourself to a degree. Don't totally let your hair down, but try to be yourself, but also project, confidence and enthusiasm and excitement for the job, but not crazy enthusiasm and excitement, because then I'm wondering what's wrong with you. So those are just some tips. Those are just tips. I have been asked, should I send a follow-up email? All of that adds a little icing on the cake. Sometimes it sets you apart, just to send an email thanking the person for the opportunity to interview, and you look forward to hearing from them. It's also a legitimate question to ask. Do you know when you'll be making your decision? And do you know how would I be notified, or will I be notified? Those very legit questions. And like I said, but if you interview well, you don't really have to send a follow-up email, but it does not hurt, and it does set you apart. So those are my tips. It's time for me to get in. My interviews start in about 50 minutes, so let me go get everything all together and set up. I hope this helps someone. Please let me know. Please let me know if you need any further help, if you need any specific help. I will be glad to inbox you, FaceTime you, WhatsApp you, and help you for free 99. For free 99 for now. For now. That offer may end sometime in 2020. All right, you guys, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for being a part of my life. Thank y'all for being a blessed one. Thank y'all for being in the blessed place. You are in my prayers. Y'all some blessed people. I may be so blessed, but y'all blessed too, because I keep my people, my blessed ones, in prayer. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.